What is going on, everybody? It's Sean O'Connell, the managing director here at CinemaBlend, and as you of course know by now, I am racing my way through all of the episodes of Game of Thrones so I can be caught up before we get to Season 8, and I am a total newcomer who is experiencing the show for the very first time, and we're racing the clock. Myself and my brilliant editors are doing everything that we can to have all of these recaps done before the launch of Season 8, which means that we have to start picking up the pace. So I am traveling this week, and I am going to continue to go through these reactions because I do not want to miss being ready in time for Season 8. Like, I think that this is super important, not just for me to be caught up to be able to experience all of Season 8 in real time when everyone else is doing it, but I want you guys to legitimately use these episodes as recaps for yourself. Follow along with me, go down, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications. You will be inundated with videos, Game of Thrones reaction videos, and we are up to Season 5, Episode 4. This one is called Sons of the Harpy, so why don't we figure out together why it's called that.
Is that Estamont?
Path, Sir Jamie. The Sapphire Isle.
Oh, he's thinking about
Why
bringing
are we on a merchant ship? You ever been to Dawn?
No.
I have. The Dornish are crazy. All they want to do is fight and fuck. Fuck and fight.
You should be happy to go back then.
Why not send 40 of me? Or an army? Unlike most folks, you've actually got one.
Because I don't want to start a war.
You set your brother free, didn't you? I bet your sister didn't like that.
She did.
Varys set him free.
If you ever see the wee fucker, give him my regards.
He murdered my father. If I ever see him, I'll split him in two. And then I'll give him your regards.
The Iron Bank has called in 1/10 of the Crown's debt. House Tyrell could front the gold and the Crown would pay us back in time, or I'd have words with my daughter.
Good try, brother.
No, we must arrange better terms with the Iron Bank. We must send an envoy to the Iron Bank, someone of importance, to show these bankers our respect. As the King's Master of Coin, I can think of no one more qualified.
I would be honored, Your Grace.
The King's expressed concern about his father-in-law's safety on this voyage. He's ordered Cimmerian to personally lead your escort.
The small council grows smaller and smaller.
Not small enough.
I love how she shades Pycelle.
How may I serve?
All over Westeros, we hear of septs being burned.
Wars teach people to obey the sword, not the gods.
Perhaps the gods need a sword of their own. If I explain their holy purpose to my son, the king, I have no doubt he will sign a decree arming the believers you felt worthy. You and I both know how the world works. Too often the wicked are the wealthiest, beyond the reach of justice. What would you say if I told you of a great sinner in our very midst?
May the Father judge him justly.
Help me!
This is Lord Peter Baelish's establishment.
Baelish is gone. He's not coming back. Yeah, Loras. They don't like your kind.
You have broken the laws of gods and men. Who do you think you are? Justice.
Loras get killed.
Why is my brother in a cell?
I didn't order it.
Oh, in prison.
We both know who did.
You told me she was returning to Casterly Rock.
Are you saying my mother's behind this?
She's jealous you're not hers anymore. Arresting my brother is her revenge.
I'll set him free for you.
Heh.
I demand that Sir Loras be freed now.
Did I arrest him?
Well, no. But you armed the Faith Militant.
Don't stutter.
You gave the High Sparrow an army.
Be more kingly.
And your wife has every right to criticize.
Can't allow fanatics to arrest the Queen's brother, no matter his perversions.
Can I tell Marjorie you have Sir Loras released?
You're the king. I'm sure if you speak to the High Sparrow, he'll release the poor boy.
They don't serve you.
His Holiness is praying.
People are turning on him.
We'll find another way. There was no way to free Sir Loras without violence.
You're the king of the Andals. The lord of the Seven Kingdoms, the protector of the realm. And you let a band of fanatics imprison your brother by law. I have to send word to grandmother.
Never even heard of these people.
They haven't heard of you either. But we need men, and they have some.
Who's this from?
Not him.
I know. I'm sorry, but we need men and supplies, and Roose Bolton's the warden of the North.
Murdered my brother.
We swore to be the watchers on the wall.
Lord Commander,
How can I help you?
come with us when we ride south.
Night's Watch take no part in the wars of the Seven Kingdoms.
Let me show you what you're fighting for.
You're gonna show me some vision in the fire.
No visions, just life. For the Lord of Light made us male and female. In our joining, there's power. Power to make life, power to make light, and power to cast shadows.
I swore a vow.
You broke it.
I loved another.
The dead don't need lovers, only the living.
Good job, Jon. Good job.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
What? What? You done dropped Egret's line?
I know Mother didn't want to bring me.
Why'd you say that?
She told me I don't want to bring you.
There you go.
Shouldn't have said that.
Are you ashamed of me, Father?
Oh.
When you were an infant, a Dornish trader landed on Dragonstone. His goods were junk except for one wooden doll. No doubt he'd heard of your birth and assumed new fathers were easy targets. I still remember how you smiled when I put that doll in your cradle and you pressed it to your cheek. By the time we burnt the doll, it was too late. I was told you would die, or worse. I called in every maester on this side of the world, every healer, every apothecary, because you did not belong across the world with the bloody stone man. You are the Princess Shireen of House Baratheon, and you are my daughter.
Hug her back. There you go. God's sakes, you're a father.
Your Aunt Lyanna.
My father never talked about her.
Lord Went held a great tourney at Harrenhal. Everyone was there. Robert Baratheon and Lyanna. She was already promised to Robert. The last two riders were Barristan Selmy and Rhaegar Targaryen. Remember the girls laughing when he took off his helmet and they saw that silver hair until he rode right past his wife. How many tens of thousands had to die because Rhaegar chose your aunt?
Where are you going?
King's Landing.
You can't leave me here.
I know how hard it is to live with people you despise, believe me. Stannis Baratheon garrisons at Castle Black. Once he liberates these lands from the Boltons, he'll rally your father's bannermen to his cause. With the North behind him, Stannis can finally take the Iron Throne.
And what if you're wrong? What if Stannis never attacks Winterfell, or he does and the Boltons defeat him?
Then you will take this Bolton boy, Ramsay, and make him yours. You'll be strong without me.
I kind of need Baelish back in King's Landing.
The captain of that ship, what's to stop him from docking down the coast and telling the locals that Jaime Lannister's in Dorne?
A bag of gold.
And I bet he swore all kinds of oaths to get it. But you won't be around if he breaks them.
Come on, Jaime, your turn. Pull weight. See, there you go.
Mama.
Nim, Obara, will it be war? Prince Doran will weep for your father, but nothing else. We must avenge Oberyn ourselves.
He told me he smuggled Jaime Lannister into Dorne.
He's come from Myrcella. You must choose Doran's way and peace, or my way and war.
You're going the wrong way. My sister's in Westeros. We're heading east.
I'm not taking you to your sister.
Said you were taking me to the Queen.
I am. Queen Daenerys Targaryen. She's the queen I serve.
Told ya.
What a waste of a good kidnapping.
What business would you have with a queen?
Gold and glory. Oh, and hate. A high-born knight from the north of Westeros, down on his luck in Essos. Dragon epaulets, bare sigil breastplate. Your Jorah Mormont. You passed notes to Varys' little birds. She found out, didn't she? Found out and exiled you. Now you hope to win back her favor with a gift.
I was thinking about all the times your brother made me go with him down from the Red Keep into the streets of King's Landing.
Why?
We liked to walk among the people. He liked to sing to them. Rhaegar never liked killing. He loved singing.
His Dar is here, waiting in the audience chamber.
Go, Sir Barristan. Sing a song for me.
Your Grace.
Those who find victory in the fighting pits will never become kings, but their names will live on.
I do not recognize this tradition.
Traditions are the only thing that will hold this city, your city, together. Without them, former slaves and former masters have nothing in common.
Ya está.
Trap Unsullied. Spear does not look like a viable weapon. Oh, he's gonna die. He's so dead. Oh, Grey Worm? Grey Worm! You going down? I think you're both gonna die here. Took down a lot of harpies. Holy cow, that's a bloodbath. Oh, they both died? Wow. Man. Okay, there aren't a lot of them, but there are a few episodes of Game of Thrones where just nothing happens, right? Like, not a lot happens. Plots move forward, characters do some things, but in general, we're kind of where we were at the beginning, and not a ton moves forward. A few revelations over the course of Sons of the Harpy, establishing two groups, the Sons of the Harpy, and then the Faith Militant, who are rising up against positions of power because they disagree with the rulers that are in place right now. I'm less interested in the Sons of the Harpy, although they are taking the sword to Dany's people, and she loses two significant allies, if in fact they both die at the end of that episode. As I am more intrigued by the Faith Militant because Cersei empowers the High Sparrow and essentially says, like, hey, if you take up arms, I can get the king to back you. And on the surface, it looks very much like this is a play against Marjorie. Obviously, the Faith Militant, the armed soldiers of the High Sparrow, are going against everything that's sort of debaucherous in King's Landing, and this would be prostitutes and drink and homosexuality. So, of course, that strikes down Loras Tyrell. And Marjorie's clearly upset by that. She tries to play the king back at his mother, and it kind of backfires because he's spineless. Jaime and Bronn land in Dorne, and as every conflict in Game of Thrones plays itself out, it's always a vengeance mission. It's some sort of vengeance mission, and so now it's a race to Jaime's niece, daughter, and who can get her because she's the pawn in play in a vengeance mission against Cersei. We see Baelish and Sansa briefly, but Baelish says he's heading back to King's Landing, so we'll see what happens with that. Stannis planning a march on Winterfell. The Red Priestess makes a move on Jon Snow, and he rejects her, and then she turns around and uses Ygritte's line. And we learn the Iron Bank, they want their loan paid off, and so Cersei sends the Master of Coin to negotiate new terms. Tyrion and Jorah are moving on toward Dany, but I kind of predicted that. So, again, not a bad episode. Not a ton happens. It's kind of like a fourth episode of a regular season. We'll see how it sets things up as we go into episode 5 of season 5. So be sure to join me back here when I get to react to the latest episode of Game of Thrones, and you can follow along by going down, hitting the subscribe button, turning on your notifications, and paying attention to everything that we're doing here at CinemaBlend.